it as simple as I can. This next video is simply on the warm-up routine. Just think about it like working out. When you work out and you're gonna pick up some heavy weights, you don't just walk into the gym and just pick them up. You should ideally do something nice and soft. Doing exercise doesn't use a lot of weight, or maybe go on like a treadmill and softly do a little jog, go on an elliptical, do something to warm up your body, something that doesn't really force you to do a lot. So the first thing I recommend when you just pick up the guitar is, before you even play, just do something simple like open and close the palms, or your open close your hands. Just get the blood flowing. Do it a couple of times. Move your arms, wiggle your fingers a little bit. So the second thing with the actual warm up is, people usually call it spider walking, or is also called the chromatic exercise. So it's very simple. You could choose any part of the guitar where you want to start. Ideally, if your hands are small, I recommend heading towards the body of the guitar, because if you notice, most guitars usually have their frets a lot smaller. The distance between the fret wires a lot smaller, and if you go up to the neck of the guitar, to the head of the guitar, the frets are a lot bigger. So if you have small hands, it's gonna be hard to when you're first starting out, to stretch and reach. So if you have small hands, start over here. It doesn't matter where you start. So let's first start always remembering all the prior tips I gave you. C, right? Thumb in the back, tips of your fingers, knuckles curled, right? Choose the style you want, right? And then you start picking. And obviously, I'm assuming your guitar's in tune. If you want me to make a video on how to tune, tell me. So choose anywhere on the guitar. And another thing to keep in mind, on your fretting hand, there's numbers assigned to each finger. Your thumb doesn't have a number. Sometimes, in like when you're reading chord diagrams, and later on maybe I'll give you or send you some chord diagrams, or I'll draw them myself. The thumb is assigned a letter T sometimes. Your pointer finger is assigned the number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so when I start saying numbers, I'm referring to the numbers assigned to each finger. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so this first exercise is gonna be just 1, 2, and 3, and 4. All right, so you just simply remember, this is not a race. It's okay. It's gonna feel weird. You just do that again, right? And then you try to speed it up. Right, so that's what you're gonna be doing with this hand. You just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Play around with the speed. Now, what I'm doing with my right hand is very important. There's something called the alternate picking technique. All you gotta do with that basically is just down, up, down, up, down, up. What I'm doing on the guitar is I'm strumming the first string. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention the numeration of the strings. Your average guitar has 6 strings, right? These 6. Each of these strings are assigned a number them also. The thickest string is usually the one closest to your head, right? The thickest string is going to be called the 6th string. And the thinnest string is the one all the way towards the bottom, physically, towards the bottom, towards the floor. This is called the 1st string. So, and you just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? So when we're doing this, I want you to start on the 1st string, anywhere on the fret. And what I'm doing with my right hand is I'm simply going down, up, down, up. I don't know if you can see, but just down, up, the same string. Focus on just doing that while you're doing this exercise. It's okay if you mess up and you don't have accuracy and you end up playing the 2nd string or the 3rd string or whatever. Just practice doing that, okay? So it's called alternate picking, just going down, up, down, up. Don't just do downs. That's a bad habit. You want to do downs and ups too. Okay. And after you've mastered that, you can explore, right? You can do whatever you want. You can slide over. You keep going. You can go backwards. So right here I will be doing a 4, 3, 2, 1. You can do that. You can go up and down vertically, right? So after doing the 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 on the first string, I jump up with my first finger to the second string, and then I repeat. And then go back down. Obviously you won't go that fast, but you get the idea. And you can do different, you go backwards. Right. And once you start mastering the 1, 2, 3, 4, that will take some weeks, maybe months. You can start getting creative and doing different numerations or different combos. You could do 2, 1, 3, 4. You could do 3, 3, 4, 1, 2. What did I say? 3, 4, 1, 2. Right. You can just do 1 and 3. Right. Okay, sorry, I had a call, so I had I don't remember where it was. So I assume I was talking about the different combinations, right? So right now, just do 1, 2, 3, 4. Some tips when you're doing this: remember, always stay relaxed, don't tense up. This when you're doing warm-ups, this video is on warm-ups. It's not about speed. It's just about warming up, right? There's no rush. Speed comes with practice and being good. In fact, practice doing it properly, and the more you do it, speed will come along behind it, right? Remember to do alternate picking, down, up, down, up, down, up. I recommend you use a metronome, and if you need help, I could do a video on a metronome and understanding what that is. Metronome is basically like a little timer. You could play around with it if you want. Ideally, it's really good to use a metronome to practice your timing. So every time the metronome sounds, that's usually when you play, right? Right. So that's the end of warm-ups. Okay, so one last minute kind of edit into the video. I forgot to mention that there's a bad habit beginners do, that when they do the 1, 2, 3, 4 combination, they lift up their fingers. What I want you to do during the practice is to keep all your fingers on the string. So like right now I press the first finger down, and now I put the second finger down. I haven't lifted up my first finger, it's still down. And then when I put down my third finger, I also still keep the first and second finger down, and then I put down my fourth, right? So I don't pick them up, okay? You only pick them up when you go backwards, right? Well, obviously the ones so like if you go 4, 3, 2, 1, you pick it up. Okay, I just want you to just remember that. Just keep your fingers down. Don't pick them up.